everyone, my name is Maddie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where I'm going to be telling you all about the top 10 books I really want to get to in 2021. Apologies for how I look, this is being filmed after a very long week and my hair needs washing, so this is what we're going with. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. I have a lot of books I want to read in 2021. My goal is set at 52 books. Realistically, I know in the back of my mind I'm aiming for like 70 to 100 because I always am. But there are so many books I want to read. I could easily list you 100 books I want to read in 2021, which is not realistic because there'll be more releases I haven't heard of, there'll be more books I haven't heard of yet that have been out for ages. So we're going to keep it to a quite small list with 10 books. And these are 10 books I am so determined to have read by the end of the year. And as you may already have seen, I do have a video on my channel which I will link, which is 2021 anticipated LGBTQ+ releases. And I do speak about 50 books in that video. And if I had time, I would read every single one of those books. But I don't think I do. So I have picked 5 out of that video that I really want to read, plus one other 2021 release which isn't LGBT. And then I've also picked 4 books which are on my currently owned TBR, books I already know about, that I really want to get to. And those are more leaning towards the ones which like I need to get done because I'm putting them off. I do already actually have a video up on my channel, which is all the series I want to read in 2021. And so these are very much more like standalone books that don't fall into those. So if you do want more of books I'm going to read in 2021, you can check that one out. But this video today is just going to be sort of standalones, individual books I really want to get to. So we are going to start there. We're going to start with the 4 books on my own TBR, and we're going to start with the most predictable one. If you've watched any of my videos this year, you will probably know what book I'm about to pick up. And this is a book that has been on many a TBR and has been attempted many times. And I've still not finished it. I think I got about a quarter of the way through it in the end, and I'll tell you what it is. It's XX by Ryan Hughes. This is a huge book, and I got about a quarter of the way through this in 2020 and was honestly losing interest. It was so slow and so intense, and I wasn't loving it. And so facing another 700+ pages seemed like a lot, and so I put it down. So this is my first one that I am determined to read in 2021, but I will emphasize that read includes DNF. Basically, I want to get this off of my TBR. That can either mean I finished it or I've finally decided I'm not reading it and I'm DNFing it. I don't mind which way it goes, I just need to decide either way. So I will probably, at some point this year, not particularly soon, go back, reread like the last 50 pages to remember where I'm at, and then maybe try another 100 to 150, and if I'm still not enjoying it, I will DNF it. But this is on this list because I am not having this on my TBR for another year. As I've said, this has been on like 4 of my 2020 TBRs. I'm also not putting this on like any more of my Dars Type TBRs because I feel too guilty that I never read it. It will just be dwelling in the background as something I need to get to. Unless it suddenly piques my interest and like I really want to read it, then maybe I will. But yeah, this is on the list as a, it needs to happen one way or the other. I need to make a decision about it. Hopefully this video will hold me accountable. And for anyone who doesn't know, the title says quite a lot. It's XX, a novel graphic. It is like a mixed media book. It has some normal bits of text. It has weird designs. It has weird like typography bits. It has social media pages. Let me see if I can find some more interesting bits. Yeah, it has things like this. It has, ooh, dropping it. It has a whole variety of crazy things in it, and it's quite hard to follow, but the basic concept is kind of like first contact with aliens, sci-fi-ish kind of thing, messages being sent in some weird format from weird places. Honestly, considering I've read 250 pages, I'm sad I can't tell you more than that, but that is all I can tell you. But I will also say, for anyone wanting to pick this up, I thought it was going to be relatively similar to things like ILLUMICRATE, which are mixed media, in that basically the whole book is mixed media. It is worth noting that at least 50% of this book is normal prose. So it is quite a slow, chunky read, because that normal prose is also like really small text. Like they're really cramming a lot into this book. I'm trying to find some normal prose, of course I now can't. Having felt like there was way too much of it, I now can't find a single page. So yeah, here's an example, just completely normal text. So it is a slow read for anyone interested in picking it up themselves. Next up, one I will hopefully be getting to towards the beginning of this year, but really need to, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I read ACOTAR and ACOMAF in 2020 and did enjoy ACOMAF quite a lot, even if not ACOTAR. But for whatever reason, I'm not feeling particularly thrilled at the prospect of picking up Aqua War, but I need to do it soon because I know if I don't get to it soon, I won't ever. So basically this is similar to XX. If I don't do it in 2021, I doubt I ever will, because by that point I'd need to reread the first two, which doesn't appeal to me. So this is going on my TBR. I'm actually likely to be reading this in February because there is a read-along of this series currently happening, hosted by Molly from Mine and Molly and Mel and a few others. I'll link them down below. And this is what they're reading in February, so I'm going to try and get to it. I don't know if I'm going to continue the series with like the new one, a silver something, Court of Silver Flames, maybe? I don't actually know. I don't follow this series particularly closely, but I feel like I should at least complete it by reading Aqua War, and as I said, if I don't get to it soon, I may never. So I'm reading it in 2021 so that I can at least complete this series. I'm not even going to try and give a synopsis for this series because I cannot do it as well as everyone else out there, but basically this follows Feyre, who, I don't even know how to summarize it. It's Feyre, it's fae, it's romance, it's drama, it's war, it's politics, it's lots of things, it's decent. Not necessarily my cup of tea, however. Next up is a book that I very specifically had on my list, though I wasn't making videos at the time, so I don't have a video of it, but I had it on my list of books to read in 2020. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I didn't read this in 2020, but I am very, very determined to read it in 2021. I think I will love this. I don't know why I'm so intimidated by the size. Everyone says it's really easy to get through, but for some reason like a 800-page adult contemporary really makes me nervous. Also, it's going to destroy me, but I'm well prepared for that. So I'm reading it. I know very little about this. I think it's set in New York. I think it follows 4 people. Yeah, 4 college classmates. I don't want to know more than that. I have spent so much time and energy avoiding spoilers for this book, which is another reason I need to read it so I don't get spoiled for it. But that is absolutely going to be read in 2021. Please hold me to it. Also, I think it's worth noting that I think all 3 of those books were on a video I made in like September or October, which was books to read before the end of 2020, so we'll see if I do better this time. But the final book on my current own TBR that I want to put on this list is The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. I have read The Binding by Bridget Collins and loved it, and actually do plan to reread it, but I really wanted to read The Betrayals, and I was planning to read like the second it came out in November, but in November and December I've just been too busy, so I've not got to it. I did actually read the first couple of pages of it, and it was really confusing. I found it too hard to get into, so when I was tired it wasn't ideal. But I don't want this one to just end up on my TBR shelf and not get read for ages, because that'd be such a waste for a book I'm so excited for. So I'm putting it on this list to like remind myself to get to this damn book. So I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm now gonna move on to the books which aren't out yet, so they're 2021 releases. If you want more details about like when these books are releasing and things like that, you can check out my 2021 LGBT releases video. I don't have the release dates with me right now, sorry, but these are just like books I'm going to be reading throughout the year as they release, and almost all of these are by authors I know and love, so it's not remotely surprising that I'm going to be trying to pick these up in 2021. So starting off with a January/February release that comes out in different times in different places, that is Across Green Grass Fields by Seanan and McGuire. This is the 6th instalment in the Wayward Children series, one of my favourite series of all time, so there's no question I'll be reading this when it comes out. I'm really excited. It follows a similar premise to the rest of these books in that it follows a child who finds a mysterious door, and when they travel through it they go to like their perfect world, however dark that may be, but then they possibly come back and get trapped back in the human world. And in this book we follow Reagan, who goes to a land filled with sort of mythical horses, mythical equine, like centaurs and other things I can't remember, but it sounds good. I love horses, so I'm down for this, though apparently it's very dark. And I think the main character Reagan is intersex, which is really great. There's a lot of LGBTQ rep in these books, and I don't think I've ever read a book with intersex rep, so I'm thrilled about that, very excited. Yeah, I'll be reading this as soon as it comes out. There's not really any question in that. The next one releasing is Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. I'm so excited. I've talked about this book before, as I've said, and this is being wrecked as kind of a mix between Ancillary Justice and Red, White and Royal Blue. I've not read Ancillary Justice, but I would be interested in it. It's kind of a sci-fi, epic sci-fi thing. And obviously Red, White and Royal Blue I adore, so I'm really excited for this. I think this is kind of like a betrothal, marriage or convenience kind of style, with kind of a slight rivals, enemies to lovers vibe. It's like really political but really heavy in romance for most sci-fi, and I am just so hyped for it, and the covers are both stunning and I cannot wait So that will absolutely be being read sometime in 2021. Next up is First Become Ashes by Szpara. I read Docile by Szpara in 2020. If you've seen my favourite books of 2020 list, you will know that that is right at the top. So anything more by Szpara I am super excited by, and I think this follows someone who has basically believed magic is real their whole life and has like worked and almost tortured themselves for years trying to achieve it, to then be told by the government that magic is not real and all of their sacrifice has been for nothing. And I'm really intrigued by this. I think it's going to be really, really dark. Szpara does not shy away from anything. It'll probably be kind of sexy in a weird way, because obviously it's very dark and not necessarily like consensual. It's not like appealing sexy, but honestly I have no idea. It'll be interesting. It'll, I'm sure, be an absolute mind warp reading it if it's anything like Docile, which is the reason I love Docile so much. It got me thinking so much about so many things, and I am just beyond excited to read First Become Ashes, and the cover is stunning. Szpara really just has the best cover designers working for him. He's so lucky. Next up is Some Girls Do by Jennifer Dugan. Again, if you've seen some of my previous videos, you will know that Hot Dog Girl and Verona Comics by Jennifer Dugan are two of my favourite YA contemporary books. They normally follow chaotic bisexuals, which is honestly just my brand to read about. And so Some Girls Do sounds like my dream book, and I'm so excited for it. I've been waiting for it to come out. But it follows, I think, a track star and a sort of beauty queen slash car mechanic kind of thing. One who's out, one who is questioning their sexuality, and it's sapphic. There's going to be lots of chaotic bisexuals, like Jennifer Dugan has strongly confirmed that. Again, the cover is stunning. Jennifer Dugan is another one where her cover designers are just phenomenal. I am so hyped. I literally cannot wait to get my hands on this book. It is killing me that it doesn't come out for like another 5 months. But I know that when it does come, I will read it in like a day and love it. So I don't mind at all. Next up, another one by my favourite author, Flashfire by Tj Cloon. This is actually the continuation of a series. It's the continuation of the Extraordinary series by him. I read the first book in 2020 when it came out. Second book's coming out in 2021. No idea when the rest of the series is coming out, not thinking too hard about it as I don't want to think about that wait. But this is a super, super adorable YA urban fantasy series following Nick, who is obsessed with the superheroes that exist in this alternate New York City. Obsessed to the extent that he has a fan fiction where he writes about him falling in love with one of them. And he is honestly in love with one of them. And it's hilarious. Nick is one of the most chaotic humans I've ever read in my life, and I love him. Like the running quote throughout the book is all his friends being like, Nick, no, and he just goes, Nick, yes, and then just does whatever he wants, and it's awfully chaotic and I love it. And I had the best time reading The Extraordinaries, and I cannot wait to reread The Extraordinaries, to read Flashfire when it comes out. The hype is real. I cannot wait till like July, I think. It's gonna kill me, but I will survive. Again, this is a hugely queer book. So many of the characters are LGBT, and I cannot wait. And then the final book is, I think, coming out in March, if I'm not wrong, and that is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the third and final book in the Brown Sisters trilogy, which are a series of companion novels. They're contemporary romance books, the first being Get a Life, Chloe Brown, the second being Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and then we are up to Act Your Age, Eve Brown, which follows the third of these three sisters. I adored the first two books so much. They are adorable, they are wholesome, they are some of the best romance books I've ever read, honestly, if not the best I've ever read. So cannot be more excited for the third one. I honestly am just buzzing that there's another one that's coming out. I will be really sad after it's done that there won't be more, but I will survive. But this also does have autism rep in it, which is really awesome. Talia Hibbert is phenomenal at including different rep in her books, I think almost all of which is own voices, which is also fantastic. And yeah, the excitement is so real for this one. I cannot wait to have the completed trilogy and finally read the third one. The one other book that I feel like I should include on this list, but I'm not going to, is One Last Stop by Casey Mcquisten. The reason I'm not including this is because I am filming this on the 10th of January, and I finished One Last Stop yesterday. So it would have been on this list by far, but I already read it, so I don't really feel like I can include it on a list of books to read in 2021. When I've already read it in 2021. That's because I was meant to film this video before 2021 started, but I didn't get around to it, so we're filming it now. But yeah, One Last Stop is just going on as like a bonus that's not in the 10, but read it, it's phenomenal. But spoiler for my January wrap-up, I've read one last stop already. But that's it for this video. I think it's very sort of short and sweet. I am so excited for these 10 books. Of course, all of them will be linked down below if you want to check any of them out for yourselves. Please harass me, especially about these first 3 books if I just grab them. Like, please nag me about these all year until I've read them, because they're the 3 that I'm worried I won't get to. All of the new releases are ones that like I'm dying to read, so I guarantee I'll get to. But yeah, with those 10 books plus the kind of mini bonus, that is it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and comment down below the top maybe 5 books you want to get to in 2021. Are any of these ones you want to get to? Do you have opinions on any of these you'd like to share? I would love to know. I can see the stack falling over. But that is it for the video, so subscribe if you like some more content from me. Links to my social media as well as all the other book clubs and read-alongs I host are linked down below in the description if you want to take part in anything else. But that is it, so bye, and I'll see you in the next one.